Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Dear God, thank you for keeping us virus-free and for all your blessings. We ask that you heal the sick, and we pray for the first responders and for those who are heartless and lack compassion. There are so many being treated unjustly and unfairly, dear God, and many suffer in silence. We know that you can help us change and spread the word of fairness, goodness, and equality. Give us the strength to speak out without fear and stand up for what is right and just. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Varga. That was a beautiful prayer. Next item, please.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal from the September 30th meeting.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware.
Move approval.
Support.
Been moved and supported. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
Report from the chair.
Since our last regularly scheduled full board meeting, we have lost a giant in the field of law, and we would like to take a moment of silence to acknowledge the life of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She fought so hard for all rights, especially women's rights. She had a beautiful homegoing last week, and again, we had not been together since that. So I want to acknowledge all that she's done for women's rights across this country, for all people's rights across this country, and have a moment of silence, please. Thank you so much. Next item,
Unfinished
please.
business, there is none listed. We are moving to offering up all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There are none listed. We are moving to page 2 of the agenda, reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on Public Services. There are 14 items listed on pages 2 through 5 of the agenda.
Thank you. And before we get started, I just like to ask Vice Chair Palomero to be on standby. I have an unstable connection in my home, so just be on standby in case I lose connection. Commissioner Marecki, Public Service.
Thank you, Madam
Report.
Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move items 1 through 14 from the Committee on Public Services.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion on the items in the Public Services Report? Any discussion on the Public Services Report items? I'm going to look to see if I have any hands. No hands. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote on the Committee on Public Services Report.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baidoon,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We're moving to Report B from the Committee on Ways and Means. 10 items listed on pages 5 through 7 of the agenda.
Commissioner Varda.
Thank you. I move the report on Committee on Ways and Means.
Support, Anderson.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any discussion on the items on the Committee on Ways and Means? Any discussion on any of the items?
Madam Chair?
Committee on Ways and Means, Commissioner Basham.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why the item is retroactive.
Which number is that, sir?
Number
One.
one.
Number one, if you go back up to number one, please. Okay, if someone can discuss why number one is retroactive. Real estate deal, industrial real estate.
Actually, this is
Amendment.
this is the 1-year option to renew a contract that we currently have. And it's for equalization services.
Madam Chair, if I may, it says approval of a retroactive to a 3-year contract with a 2 1-year options. So it don't just say 1-year option. So it's a 3-year contract that's retroactive.
I understand.
Hold on while we get that answer. Commissioner Anderson, did you want to respond to that?
I only wanted to ask that I be recorded as a no vote on one.
No one want. Is there anyone from the administration to talk further about this item?
Madam Chair, this is Scott Vandenmergel.
Hello, Scott.
Good morning. With regard to item number one for the professional services contract extension for item number one, that is correct. That's an initial 3-year contract that provides for 2 1-year essential contract extensions, if so approved. The timing of the renewal for the contract was initiated prior to the expiration date. However, with the contract being a 3-year initial with 2 extensions, there was a little bit of ambiguity over the treatment of how the contract should be processed with it, whether that should be considered a new item or whether that should be considered a contract amendment. So it took a little bit of time to work things out with legal counsel and procurement to get clarification for the ambiguity, which we were able to do. It took a little bit of time to make that happen. As far as the contract goes, the term of the contract is extended from initially from 3 years to 4 years, and then there is the commensurate amount in the increase in the contract as well, corresponding to the 4th year. So there were some logistical challenges that were also associated with some transition in the budget area and getting some of the approvals and getting some things put through the TCM module. So sort of a combination of a number of different factors, but the process was initiated well in advance of the expiration date for the contract itself. With that being said, going forward, when the next 1-year renewal option comes up, given this recent history, we will be certain to get the process initiated. I'm looking at probably 5 or 6 months in advance, just to make sure that any potential contingencies or COVID-related logistics or anything like that are appropriately accounted for.
Thank you. Does that answer your question, Commissioner Basham?
Yeah, it answers my question, but I'm ready for the vote.
Okay, any additional questions, comments on the Committee on Ways and Means? Madam Clerk, you noted Commissioner Anderson's no vote?
We noted on item number one.
Yes, so let's take roll call vote on the entire report, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes, with a no on one.
Commissioner Baidoon,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki.
Yes.
Baker McCormick, Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
yes,
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries, and I have Commissioners Anderson and Basham as a no on item 1.
Thank you. Next item?
Let's see, from the Committee on Health and Human Services, there are 4 items listed.
Commissioner Killeen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioners will note that under approving any ordinances or resolutions, there wasn't any at the beginning of the meeting. We had both an ordinance and a resolution come through Health and Human Services Committee. And Madam Chair, with your permission, I'd like to break those 2 out
That's fine.
for separate votes. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Item number 1 is the Human Rights Ordinance that we've been discussing for a while. It comes to us today with 13 of my colleagues joining me as sponsors of this. I think that Commissioner Varga's selection of the Prayer of St. Francis this morning is very apt when it comes to this ordinance. I'll read the purposes section of the ordinance for what we are accomplishing here. Purpose, it is the intent of Wayne County that no person be denied equal protection of the laws, nor shall any person be denied the enjoyment of his or her civil or political rights or be discriminated against because of actual or perceived race, color, ethnicity, religion, national origin, sex, age, height, weight, family status, condition of pregnancy, marital status, physical and mental disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, HIV status, veteran status, or political affiliation. Nothing in this chapter shall require preferential treatment of any person or any group on the basis of any of the classes protected from discrimination under this chapter. So to get it here, and I think this is an excellent bookend to Executive Evans's Welcoming Wayne County initiative. And I think this certainly shores up that. I think we do want to be a county where we say, if you come to Wayne County, no matter who you are, you can come here and work and live without concerns. The ordinance also calls for a board to oversee the ordinance. It'll be a 7-member board, if I recall correctly. The county executive will propose the members to that board, and the county commission will approve them. And I'm looking forward to reaching out all across Wayne County. We have a lot of excellent folks that can sit on that board. I also want to thank Commission Counsel, Felicia Johnson, as our Commission Counsel, and Regina Jones, who did a lot of the legwork on putting this together. I want to thank both of them. I want to thank Corporation Counsel, James Heath and his team, who worked very cooperatively on this and helped us work through a few issues that were raised. I also want to thank the good folks at Fair and Equal Michigan, Equality Michigan, and LBGT Detroit, who all gave important feedback on this. I also want to thank Commissioner Dodd for her sharp eye in helping us resolve an issue. The last thank you I want to give is to the Board of Realtors at Grosse Pointe and the Board of Realtors in the city of Detroit. One of the things here is housing discrimination, and I was contacted by both groups with some concerns over pre-sales that realtors go through. They wanted to be sure that the realtors would not be caught up in discrimination suits because we didn't word the section properly, but we worked it out with them, and so it's here today for your approval, and I will move item 1 on the Health and Human Services report.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Thank you, Commissioner Colleen, for your work on this. A question or maybe a comment. If there's persons that we would like to recommend to the county executive for this board, I'm sure he will take those recommendations into consideration. So thank you again for the work that you've done with this. It's been a few months working. I know Commission Council did a lot of work on this, so I appreciate their work as well.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Up for discussion, any discussion from commissioners on this ordinance?
Commissioner, Madam Chair.
I have Commissioner Baidoon, Commissioner Palomero, then Commissioner Baker-McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to commend my colleague, Commissioner Colleen, for spearheading this effort to introduce this ordinance in Wayne County. Very well said, Commissioner. And as a realtor, I can tell you that any form of discrimination is totally unacceptable in our profession. Again, I applaud you and I commend you, and kudos to you and all the people that worked on this ordinance. Thank you again.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Palomero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also want to commend Commissioner Colleen and all of those that he thanked for working on this issue. It's not easy when you get into these kind of issues to hit all the legal benchmarks and make sure everything is order. And he and all those he thanked did their homework, and he has put together an excellent ordinance. And I commend him again for bringing it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Baker-McCormick.
Yes, I too wanted to thank Commissioner Colleen for his hard work and this human rights ordinance. I think it's important that we ensure that every citizen is treated equally. And in addition, you mentioned that there were 13 co-sponsors? Is that correct, or?
Correct.
Okay, so not all commissioners are co-sponsors.
He said 13.
Correct.
Okay, no, I just wanted to be clear that that was correct. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Anderson, then Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also wanted to thank our colleague, Commissioner Colleen, for this. I think it's long overdue, and I applaud all those involved with bringing this forward. When he called me about it, I don't know what order I was in, but I, of course, lent my support and co-sponsorship. And since I just hope the folks in Lansing will look at it and modify Elliott Larson to what it was intended to do. I had the pleasure of getting to meet Daisy Elliott, former representative, before she had passed away. And although I had never met Mr. Larson, I saw him, but I just think it's long overdue that we take this action, and at least at the county level, hopefully folks in Lansing might encourage them to also make that same change to the Elliott Larson Act. But anyway, thank you very much, all those involved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to thank Commissioner Colleen for this ordinance and for the experience of working on it. It was a great learning experience, and thank him for taking my suggestions into account. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hayes, I believe that's
Yes,
iPad.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I really like to thank Commissioner Colleen and all those who work hard on this ordinance. The timing, it's perfect where our nation divided and so much confusing. It's reminder to all of us who we are and what type of nation we are. And I hope we could share this one with many other county in a state and municipality to act in the same way we act in Wayne County Commissioner on this ordinance. Again, thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I'll send this to NACO as well so that they can have record of it in case there are counties across the country who would like to pattern an ordinance after this one.
Excellent.
Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Colleen, I know we had a lot of emails back and forth. I planned on being a co-sponsor on this resolution, so I don't know who is and who isn't, but I don't think we ever like tied up everything. So I just hope I'm on that as a co-sponsor.
Yes, Commissioner, you are.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, I hope, if you don't mind me interjecting, I hope that all of the commissioners on the Wayne County Commission co-sponsor this very, very important ordinance in Wayne County.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Sure. Can I ask if it's possible, just so we will all know whether we're on there? I mean, if we're not on there, we will get a chance to be on there. If we can ask for co-sponsors at this time?
I believe that's appropriate. Once we vote on it, we can ask.
If the board can be open for
Open for co-sponsors, exactly.
Yeah, I think that would alleviate the question.
Yeah, that would solve it. Okay, we'll do that. Thank you. Commissioner Killeen?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, Commissioner Clark Coleman, you are on there. I made the attempt with my colleagues to bring it to the floor with all of the co-sponsorships, but if we want to do this at the end. I also want to comment because it was brought up about the Elliott Larson Act, which in 1976 was the Civil Rights Act that was passed by the state of Michigan. The sponsors of that legislation were Mel Larson, a Republican member of the House from Oakland County, and Daisy, the legend Elliott, a representative from the city of Detroit that got together to write that law. Mr. Larson commented, there is an effort going on right now. COVID has certainly cut into it, but there's a effort out there with volunteers trying to get signatures to amend the Elliott Larson Act, trying to get it on the ballot this fall. It may or may not make it. That would take the protections that we are voting on today and enshrine them in state law. Former Representative Larson offered a comment on that ballot petition drive, saying, as one of the original authors of this law, I can state unequivocally that the intent was to offer the broadest possible protections against discrimination of any kind. It is clear today that Michigan's landmark civil rights law does not go far enough. It remains perfectly legal for an employer to fire someone or a landlord to kick someone out of their home based on who that person loves or expression of their gender. This is wrong. So I just wanted to read Mr. Larson's comments into the record too. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Palomera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was going to wait until member remarks to say this, but I think now is probably the more appropriate time. This past week, Mel Larson and Daisy Elliott were honored in Lansing and had a building renamed after them.
Yes, they were.
Accepting on behalf of Daisy was her granddaughter, who was Eric Sabri's wife, who was there. And Mel Larson was there. Mel is a personal friend, and I'm sure a number of you remember 10 years ago this week when we honored George Perlis and Lloyd Carr. Mel Larson was in our chambers, and came to the luncheon afterward to dine with Coach Perlis and Lloyd Carr and thank him. He was personal friends of both of them, and Mel is deeply honored and is a wonderful human being, and we are all confident that his leadership from 40 some years ago will be extended into 2020 and beyond. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Palomero, for letting us know that. I mean, we all know, but it was nice to have it on the record, to have that building named after them. And then Daisy Elliott's granddaughter, the wife of our very own Treasurer Eric Sabri. So thank you for mentioning that at this time. This is a very important ordinance. And again, I think that other counties across the state and across the country will adopt the same, especially in the times that we're living in now. At this time, are there any other questions or comments? Commissioner Irma Clark Coleman, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to just allow those persons who are co-sponsors just to remain that. We'll just take a vote without opening the board. I think everyone knows who they are.
That's fine.
So,
I just wanted to make sure that
I think we're good.
Well,
And
I
Madam
just want to make sure that I'm on there. Thank
Commissioner, you are.
You are,
all-
Commissioner Scott.
All the co-sponsors, I'm sorry, Madam Chair, all the co-sponsors are listed in the paperwork for the agenda today.
Okay.
They all are
Thank you.
listed, yes.
Thank you so much.
That's
Okay,
fine.
any further comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call vote for item number 1, approval of the Human and Civil Rights Ordinance.
Commissioner Anderson,
Gratefully, yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baidoon,
Sorry about that. I was unmuted. Proudly, yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Dahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes, yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pal,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Commissioner Killeen?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Item 4 on this report, I'll see you guys again under item G on our agenda today. But under this report, item 4 is a
Could
resolution.
you move the slide up, please? I'm sorry, Commissioner. Could you please move the agenda up, Octavia?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That the Vice
Go ahead,
Chair
Commissioner.
of the Health and Human Services Committee brought to the committee with regards to lead. And so, Madam Chair, with your permission, I'd like Commissioner Baker McCormick to introduce her resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a very important resolution that talks to the issue of the lead in our children in Wayne County, especially children that are under the age of 6. And what this resolution would do is mandate testing of children under 6. Right now, there are no enforcements or at least the opportunity for parents to have their children tested. We did revise the current resolution. So, Mr. Chair, if we could revisit this, if we could pass it for the day so that we can make sure that the committee see the updated resolution, and then we can bring it back at the next full board meeting.
I would support that motion, Commissioner.
Okay, and Octavia can bring it down so we can see the entire Health Human Services report, please. If we can have, okay, there we go. Thanks. A little bit further up. Okay, there we go. A little bit up, a little bit up. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see 2, 3, and 4 on the screen.
Okay, and by
Thank
the
you.
way, I do.
Okay, so
I do want
Commissioner
to.
Killeen.
I just wanted to also mention that this is an effort that I'm working on with Wayne State Urban Studies Department and parents throughout Wayne County. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Baker McCormick. And I think as a lot of commissioners who've been on here for a few years know, especially if you've been on for several years, Commissioner Kwame Kenyatta and myself did several resolutions on lead abatement and lead testing, and my ordinance that I did back in 2005, I want to say, spoke to the fact of testing children under 6 in Wayne County's health department, and that's an ordinance, that's a law. So this issue is still an issue today, so we welcome any companion resolutions. This has been 15 years since my ordinance, to make sure that we're addressing the issue of lead and lead poisoning with our children. So I guess the
Madam
motion,
Chair,
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
I just wanted to add, also it talks to the enforcement of testing by various departments, and also remediation of any lead-based paint found in homes. So that it's a little different, and that's why we had to tweak this resolution, because we weren't aware of the full ordinance and wanted to make sure that it worked in tandem with the current ordinance.
Absolutely. So
Thank you.
Commissioner, the motion is to approve 2, 3, and pass back to committee item 4.
If you want to add in, yeah, Commissioner Baker McCormick's, do we vote on that separate to pass for the day?
We can put them all together.
Okay. Okay, I'm not sure how to make the motion. The other 2 items here.
Approve 2 and 3, pass for the day, item 4.
That's how I'll do it. Thank you. What
Thank
she
you.
said. I just want to comment on item 3. This is exercising a 1-year option on what the company that was formerly called Correction Care Solutions WellPath that deliver jail health services. Commissioners will recall a couple of years ago there was an audit of that contract, which generated a corrective action plan. We reviewed both of those in committee. You will see the corrective action plan on the audit agenda today, but we had a real good discussion. I think almost everything on that correction action plan was accomplished. So we were very comfortable in moving this forward to take the 1-year option. And at this point, the contract would be out of options, and the department is sending out an RFP for these services for next fiscal year. So with that, Madam Chair, I will move items 2 and 3 for approval, and item 4 for pass for the day.
Thank you so much. There's support.
Support.
Anderson.
Okay. The motion to approve 2 and 3, pass for the day 4. Any further discussion? Let me go to my little box for hands and see if I see any hands. Commissioner Palomera's hand is still up, and Commissioner Varga.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to, in whenever the appropriate time to do this is to clarify, because we haven't taken any more votes, going back to item 1. I think it is the intent of everybody on the commission to co-sponsor item 1, and for there to be some possible confusion of somebody being left off, I think it makes the most sense to reopen that board and give everybody a chance to go on record of being co-sponsors, rather than wondering who might be the one who slipped through the communication cracks. And whenever that is the appropriate time to revisit that, I'm willing to listen to you and the clerk as to when that is. But I just want to make sure we're all on board with what we agree and think to be is the right thing to do.
Good suggestion.
Let's take that under reconsiderations. Thank you,
Okay.
Commissioner Vice Chair Palomera.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Varga?
Thank you. As we work on the lead, I just want to know if anyone knows, or Commissioner McCormick knows, if the city of Detroit is still doing some form of testing either in the home or the children, and then how it's funded. And then two, if we're going to go into buildings to test for lead, it is so needed to be also tested for mold. Mold is a very, very much needed test for young children, and there's so many who live in homes that are not quite up to code, and that I find that to be a problem as well. So I would love to work on that particular item with all of you. But if you would include it in your resolution as you come to the homes being tested, I would very much welcome the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I'm sure that's a conversation that you and Commissioner Baker McCormick can have before the item goes back to committee. Thank you. Commissioner Baidoon.
Madam Chair, I think this is related to what we're talking about. Commissioner Colleen, before this COVID-19, we had a meeting to talk about the lead base, the lead in the water pipes throughout Wayne County. And there was a discussion that it's going to cost like quite a bit of money for these lines to be changed. Are we still talking to different cities and what's going on with that? I mean, I know like in Dearborn, there's like 12,000 homes that have the main line that goes into the house. It's lead and needs to be changed. And the cost like was $40 million. And a lot of the cities in Wayne County do have that. And I think Dearborn Heights, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner, there was a section of Dearborn Heights where they had lead in the water.
I don't know, but I would suggest that that's a great discussion for the Public Services Committee. So if Commissioner Marecki is amenable, maybe we can put that on the discussion for the next Public Services Committee, because that is a vital issue, especially with what we've seen lately in Michigan.
Sure.
So, Commissioner Marecki?
Sure. Madam Chair.
Yes.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Baker McCormick?
to Commissioner's Baidoon question, I did send also to commissioners a map of Wayne County and the percentage of children that tested for lead. And I wanted to make sure that all commissioners receive that. So if you are concerned about the numbers in your community, I mean, any levels of lead is concerning, but as you can see from the map, that there are areas in Wayne County that the levels are much higher than others. And so areas like Highland Park, we were really focused on, and of course, Detroit, because the more homes we have that were built before 1978, those are the homes that are most concerning with lead-based paint and peeling paint. And that's how a lot of our children are being contaminated by lead.
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Scott?
thank you. We have been working on this lead for some time,
Yes, we have.
even when I was in the Senate. Yeah,
Mhm.
and so, and I know that the pipes in Highland Park are like 100 years old. So unless we get some monies to change these pipes, it's not going to help these houses, because we've been doing this lead testing. And the nurses over in Maricky's area. I'm trying to think of the name of this college, but they
Cool.
worked
Madonna? Madonna?
Oh, Madonna.
Madonna. We worked with Madonna, the nurses at Madonna, through my coffee hours. They came to Highland Park, and also you need to, the health department. I hope you're working with all of that group to make this happen. And I know that the Wayne Metro is paying to have some lead testing. So we need to get all of these together, because we've been doing this, you know, haphazardly, I would say, you know, until we get in there and really make some changes in these homes. I know what they were doing was just scraping the paint off and repainting and stuff, but we really, really do need to do something, because this has been like 20 years or more when I was in the Senate that we were working on these things. So let's get some money and do it right and get these pipes changed and stuff in these older homes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Chair Bell,
Yes, Commissioner Clark.
you know, I think this issue is huge. And I do remember in the Senate that this was an issue that at that time Senator Scott had been working on diligently for years. And I think that there's a lot of components in this. And maybe what we need to do is to assemble, there's history that Commissioner McCormick might not be aware of in terms of this lead issue. So maybe it needs to be a task force that you could bring together people who have a background and who've been advocating for this for a number of years, and do a more comprehensive resolution.
Good thought.
Good thought. We're taking all of this into consideration. I think, again, the ordinance that we have may need to be tweaked a little bit to make sure that it's addressing all the needs. But again, as you all have stated, we've been working on this for 15, 20 years now. So looking at a comprehensive solution may be in order at this point. So thank you for all those suggestions. I'll talk to Commissioner Baker McCormick and the Chair of Health and Human Services, and we'll come up with a plan so that we can thoroughly and efficiently address this. Thank you all.
Very good.
Thank you.
And I've been advised that the motion should be to approve 2 and 3 and refer 4 back to committee. That should be the proper motion.
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I screwed up there. I will, that is my motion.
Thank you. And we'll accept the person who supported that. Let me see if I have any additional questions from commissioners. I don't see any. Okay. Hearing no further discussion and comments, roll call vote for the motion.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baidoon,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark-Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Yes.
Commissioner Kniznik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes.
On the video. Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Barton,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell, Chair Bell,
She might have got bounced off. We'll wait for her.
It doesn't appear that she's been removed from the Zoom call.
She did.
Bear with me. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Item passed, I assume. So next item, please.
we are moving to Report D from the Committee on Audit. There are 2 items listed.
Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have two items to receive and file. I would move that this time.
Support, Daub.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion on the two items on the Committee on Audit? Hearing none, they are receive and file items. Guess we'll continue with the roll call vote. Madam Clerk, roll call vote on the Committee on Audit.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We're moving to report E from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 12 items listed on pages 9 through 13 of the agenda.
Thank you. Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you. I move the agenda. Thank you,
Support.
Madam Chair.
Okay, it's been moved. I hear support.
Hattis.
Moved and supported. Any discussion on the items on the Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security report? Any discussion? Items 1 through 12. I see 1 and 2. You can move those up,
Can
please.
she scroll up slowly so that, okay.
Slow. Okay. Okay. Any questions, discussion on the items on the Public Safety report?
So primarily, these are jail contracts for the jail items, so.
Any questions, comments on the Public Safety report? 1 through 12?
Mhm. I think 9 of those have to do with jail use.
Scrolling through still.
Mhm.
Questions? Okay. Hearing none. We have a motion and support. Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Oops.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We're on report F from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 6 items listed on pages 13 through 15 of the agenda.
Commissioner Martha G. Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move all items. The receive and file for the fairgrounds. I'm trying to figure out which number is that.
Number 5.
Number 5, receive and file, and the others, I'd like to have support for that, for those.
Okay. Is there support?
Support, Hattis.
Okay. Committee on Government Operations report. Any questions? Number 1. Number 2, please scroll up. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Any questions on the Government Operations report? Hearing none, roll call vote for that report, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baidoon,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalid,
Aye.
بعت لك wrong address امبارح 1623 قصدي 1618.
Commissioner
Mr. Baidoon.
We can hear you, Mr. Commissioner Baidoon.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palamara,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We are on Report G from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 18 items listed on pages 15 through 22 of the agenda.
Commissioner Khalid.
18 items. Thank you, Madam Chair. Items 1 through 5 on the report are the contracts we have with our CMOs around the county that deal with a lot of our youth services. This is the two things. These are the quarterly adjustments based on how much business they had, a routine matter that we do every 3 months. But secondly, it also extends the contract for 1 year, taking the option for 1 year, and then the contracts will be over and the department is going to be RFPing for the CFOs coming up this year. There's also 11 youth assistance program contracts here. These are programs that are spread out across the county to reach all areas, and this provides judges in the circuit court and in the district courts opportunities and alternatives to incarceration for our youth and to get them in programs. In our discussions at committee, as we track the kids that go through these programs, approximately 80% do not see the criminal justice system of kids that have gone through these programs. So, Madam Chair, I move the entire report for your approval.
Support.
Oh, okay,
Anderson.
the report has been moved and supported. Any discussion on these items? As Commissioner Khalid stated, we had to have a meeting because they expired yesterday and they start today. So that's why I had to have a meeting on yesterday. Any questions on any of these items? Any questions, any comments? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, roll call vote.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baidoon,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalid,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palamara,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item.
Upcoming committee and task force meetings are listed on pages 22 and 23 of the agenda.
All right. Does anyone have any changes they need to make now? If not, the meetings are as scheduled. If there are any changes, please alert the clerk. Next item.
Public comments.
First, are there any emails that we've received for public comments?
No emails were received.
At this time, can you unmute everyone and then everyone self-mute back if you do not have a comment? Please unmute everyone who is on the telephone or on Zoom.
Everyone has been unmuted, Chair.
If there's anyone who would like to address the Wayne County Commission at this time, please jump in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Shantanae Davis. I live in District 1 in Rosedale Park. And my comment or my comment is about public safety. I live on West Outer Drive between Finkel and Evergreen. And there is a deep curve right coming from the park from Evergreen. And there have been several car accidents where people speed around the curve, lose control, flip their car, roll their car. The residents that have been here for over 40 years says that it has been a problem that long, and they have not gotten a solution or resolution to that problem. And I was told that my home was actually one of the homes that a car actually ran into the living room after losing control in that curve. I did send an email to, I think it was Carla Williamson, and I got an automated response saying that they will look into it. Channel 4 actually came out and did a report on it.
And I'm probably pronouncing this wrong.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, and just 3 days ago, last weekend, there were actually 2 accidents in one day, like less than 24 hours. A girl flipped her car over and it landed upside down. This is like a danger to the neighborhood. They speed through here, tear up the property. We have children that play outside that we're concerned about, that, you know, someone's going to get really hurt if not, something's not done about that curve.
Okay, thank you. We don't normally do back and forth under public comments, but I will say, I know there's been several complaints over the last few months about speeding through our neighborhoods. If you could contact your commissioner, and I'm not sure exactly where you're located, if that's myself or Commissioner Baker McCormick, and we will talk further with you about some of the things that we've heard from the city of Detroit and some solutions that we can come up with. I know I've been talking to our public services DPS director about what we can do with the speeding and with trying to slow traffic. So please contact either myself or Commissioner Baker McCormick so we can discuss with you some solutions to this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else on for public comments?
Yes, hi, my name's Alonda Hicks. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. I have there's 2 subjects I wanted to address. I don't know if I can receive help from you. The first one is I have a daughter that is attending Wayne County Community College. There has been complaints and grievances that she has sent in to the college last semester as well as this semester in regards to not receiving like syllabi and from the instructors. When she questions it, she gets no answer. So I don't know what else it is that we could do. We filed a complaint with a grievance with the school. We've also filed a complaint with Laura for the licensure regulation and has heard anything back. The second thing I wanted to talk about was kind of the same issue that Shanton Davis mentioned about the speeding in our neighborhood. There's been several incidents like at 3 in the morning where cars are just racing by. They're going so fast that the ring doesn't even catch them on the ring app.
Thank you for that. As far as WC3D, and again, I'm going against the rules. I'm commenting on public comments. I apologize to my colleagues, but I think these are important. One with the Wayne County Community College, you did the proper channels going to Laura and the grievance board. What I would suggest, maybe also whoever your commissioner is, just send that letter to them so they're aware of it. And as far as the speeding, again, we are addressing that. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting next week with our sheriff's department to, again, come up with some solutions. Because as you may or may not know, our state representative in Detroit, who lives on East Outer Drive, I believe, a car ran through his home and through his living room a couple of weeks ago for speeding. So that's a problem throughout the city and throughout the county, and we are working with that to find solutions. So thank you for coming to our meeting today, and we'll keep you abreast of the solutions that we come up with for the traffic and the speeding problem.
Okay, is there
Thank
any
you.
way that the updates can be sent to me through email? I am a block club president for Appeline from Finkel all the way to Puritan. Is there any way that the updates could be sent to me?
Sure. Your commissioner is Commissioner Baker McCormick, and if you could email her your email, or email her, and she will put you on our email list, or the email that you see on the screen, plane@waynecounty.com. That's to our clerk, and then we can put you on all correspondence.
Okay,
from
Madam
county.
Chair. Madam Chair.
Thank you.
I
Baker
just
McCormick.
wanted to give her my email directly, or I can put it in the chat. You can get it there. So please feel free to reach out to me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are you going to
I
the
can-
chat to get it?
Either
or
one,
want
you
me
can give
to
it to me. I have a pen.
Okay, it's M for Monique, B for Baker, then McCormick, McCormick @waynecounty.com. mbmccormick@waynecounty.com.
Okay.
Please feel free to
Thank
reach
you
out
so
to
much.
me.
I have it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else who should address the Wayne County Commission at this time? Anyone else from the public? Okay, hearing none. Thank you so
We are
much. Next
moving
item,
to new
please.
business. There is one item listed, requesting commission authorization of the public procurement units as listed that the county may utilize for procurement of supplies, services, commodities, or construction services to be purchased pursuant to the procurement ordinance.
Okay, is Aaron on for this item? There's someone from the administration to discuss this item, please. Okay, while we wait, Commission Counsel,
Yes, I may be able to assist. So under the procurement ordinance, under section 12181, it discusses and authorizes procurements for cooperative purchases. It also indicates that the entities that may be used must be on a list that's approved by the commission. So this body actually authorizes which entities are considered cooperatives and may be used. The old list has expired. I believe it expires, and Pam can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it expires today or yesterday, one of the two. So
Yes.
this is just the renewed list that would allow the county departments to utilize cooperative purchases using the recommended entities from the procurement director. So this is required under the ordinance, and I believe that the resolution will give a 5-year term, and they'll come back in 5 years to renew the list. If they have an amendment during those 5 years, they will submit that amendment to the list to this body for consideration.
Through the chair, this is Joe. The previous list did expire yesterday, and this is the same 8 on the list. Aaron kept the same 8 that we've had from the previous list.
okay, thank you. Are there any questions on this item?
Move approval.
It's been
Support.
moved and supported.
Who supported the motion?
Hadis.
Thank you.
Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Baidoon,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dog,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen, Commissioner Colleen,
I muted myself, yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Ware,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Bell.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We're moving to page 24 of the agenda, testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 2 items listed.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Ware, for honoring Better Made Snacks. Better Made Barbecue was my favorite chip. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing them 90th anniversary.
Yeah, Commissioner Scott, I'd like to respond to both of those. Gary L. Williams, who has just done a fantastic job there.
Yeah.
So thank you, Irma, for honoring him.
Yes.
And I like them Better Maids too, Chair.
And I'd like to also comment on Gary Williams. He is not only, well, he's housed at
Focus Hope.
Focus Hope,
Mhm.
but he's also one of my neighbors. He
Oh.
lives on Oakland Boulevard, and he's been there for almost 20 years.
Mhm.
Very
I
good.
wish him much success on his retirement.
Very good. Any other comments on the resolutions and certificates of appreciation? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Anyone wish to abstain? All right. Next item, please.
We're on memoriams. There are 4 names listed.
Okay, anyone wish to speak on memoriams?
Well, I guess I did mention it early on, but Norma Jean Haygood Lewis was the longest serving member, woman on the Highland Park City Council. At one time, she was the president of the city council, and then she was pro tem on the city council. So we just thank God for her life and all that she have done for Highland Park. She was just a very good person. So I thank God for her life.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Madam Chair, can I add a name?
Sure, Commissioner Marecki?
Okay, thank you. The name of Sue Ganyevik, which is, she's a family, her family's been very active in Livonia for years. And Pam, I will send you the spelling of that name.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair Bell,
Commissioner Clark Holman?
this is directed to Commissioner Scott. Commissioner Scott, I think you mentioned last time that she had just won her.
Yes, just
re-election.
won re-election. She's elected right, until her death.
So is she chair or a member of the city council?
Well, we just had a new charter, and so she ended up just being on the city council.
Oh, okay.
In this last one.
So what did they do about her filling her vacancy? I guess that's.
With our new charter, I am told by my neighbor, who is the president of the city council now, indicated to me that in the new charter, it's the next person in line. And if that is so, then my neighbor down the street from me will fill her vacancy.
Okay.
Because we have districts now in Highland Park, and Norma was my councilwoman.
Oh, okay.
Just
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you. Any other comments on our memoriams for today? And again, we want to just recognize the life of Justice Ginsburg and all that she's done for us throughout her tenure as a Supreme Court Justice. Hearing no other comments, we'll bow our heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Next item, please.
Reconsiderations.
Commissioner Palomera?
Thank you, Madam Chair. under the Health and Human Services report, item 1, I would move to open the board for co-sponsorship of the Human Rights Ordinance.
Is there support?
Support.
Support.
Madam Chair,
We have to reconsider, I think, first.
Who spoke? Is that
there was mention about,
council or is that clerk?
it's Pam, but I don't know if Felicia's still there.
Yeah, I am. Through the chair, the item does not need to be reconsidered. It's my understanding that everyone voted yes. However, Rule 45, to open the board for co-sponsorship should be suspended. So we need a motion to suspend Rule 45 to allow for co-sponsorships at this time. And then after that, you can have your vote for co-sponsorships.
Okay, so vote to suspend Rule 45.
So moved.
And then,
And I
Okay.
support that.
okay, all in favor of suspending Rule 45, please vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions of suspending Rule 45? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Rule's been suspended. Next, open the board for a vote or for just a reconsideration of the item.
Just for
Co-sponsor.
co-sponsorships, the item does not need to be reconsidered
Correct.
because one voted yes.
Correct.
So just co-sponsorship.
The board is now open for co-sponsorships of this item. If you do not want to be a co-sponsor, please say aye. If you do not want to be a co-sponsor, please say aye. And for the record, if you do want to be a co-sponsor, say aye. Aye. Okay, for the record, no one said they did not. All 15 commissioners said they would like to be co-sponsors of the Human Rights Ordinance.
Unanimous. Great.
Unanimous co-sponsorship of the Human Rights Ordinance. Is that done correctly, Madam Council?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. All commissioners are co-sponsors now of the Human Rights Ordinance. Next item, next item, please.
Remarks by members.
Any
Madam
remarks by
Chair,
members?
Commissioner Scott.
Commissioner Scott?
Thank you. I just wanted to also, in regards to those two women that talked about over on Auto Drive, the cars, yeah, my staff was just recently over near that area, was hit and knocked into a house.
Oh.
So I just thank God that he spared her with a few bruises, you know. But and she has a big truck, and so I just thank God for that big truck she had, because she probably really would have gotten hurt more. But she was actually knocked into, and this was a hit and run. Yeah. So we really do need to do something. And I know that just driving, you have to be so careful now. Even at these stops, people don't stop anymore. They just keep going. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know what we can do, but we do need to bring some attention to this.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you,
So
Commissioner.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Palomero?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With this being the first day of the new fiscal year, I think now is the appropriate time to thank our entire wonderful staff for an absolute terrific job over the course of last fiscal year in very trying times. The clerk and her staff, Marcy and the Auditor General staff, our legal staff, which won 2 huge court cases over the last year, including the news that we got yesterday, which was very precipitous, which was on top of the prevailing in keeping a 1 mil tax hike off the ballot at a time we did not need new taxes. Mark Abbo and his staff, who did an absolute wonderful job. I don't know how Mark found time to make a hole-in-one this past month in golf, but he did. And lastly, Sometimes you may see my video screen pop off, and that's because I do sneak in a snack of Better Made potato chips. So I don't just talk about it. I'm one of their best customers. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Palomero, and I think we all agree with everything you said, including the chips. Thank you. Commissioner Baker McCormick and Commissioner Baydun.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too would like to thank our staff and also Felicia and all of her hard work in our legal department and team. But I also wanted to let commissioners know that the extension date for the Wayne County Commission Youth Council is to October 15th. So if you have any students, they can send their applications by October 15th. And after speaking with several of the commissioners, it is at your discretion as to who you recommend for the Youth Council. You will review their application. If you agree that they don't need the recommendation of a counselor, or that you didn't need them to complete the essay or all of the essay questions, it's totally up to you and the students that you approve. So again, we are going to extend the date to October 15th and just have them send over their application. And if you want them to complete it all, then that's totally up to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Baydun?
Madam Chair, thank you. And again, as we enter another fiscal year, I want to echo what my colleague, Commissioner Palomero stated. I want to thank the commission staff, everyone, I can't name all of them, obviously, for a job well done. And I want to thank also the committee chairs. And I want to thank you, Madam Chair, for your leadership during these difficult and challenging times. Nobody expected that we would be meeting like this. I could not have imagined this in a million years. But thank you to all, and look forward to another year as we navigate through these difficult, challenging times. I have one question, Madam Chair. I don't know if this is correct or not. I heard last night that they extended the census until the end of October.
Yes, the court ruled that it's extended to the end of October, which is great news for us.
That's great news. So I do urge all of my colleagues, to give it one more push in the last 30 days to encourage our constituents to participate, because this means more money for Wayne County, obviously. We should all be more aggressive in encouraging people to fill out their census form. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, sir. You are absolutely right. And I think we're going to do a full court press for the next 30 days. Thank you. Commissioner Killeen, then Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I actually have a comment for county employees that are represented. I know at the meeting yesterday, and I'm sorry, I'm at the edge of the rules here. We adjourned the commission meeting in the middle of a discussion about the GAA collective bargaining agreement. I know how that can be concerning to employees. Why are they doing it? What are they doing? I just wanted to comment that in the contract, there's some language that could possibly open the door for switching retirement systems from the Wayne County retirement system to MERS, the Michigan retirement system. The county commission has consistently opposed that idea. And the reason we adjourned yesterday for a minute was to reach out and hammer out an agreement with the administration that are going ahead and approving that contract yesterday. In no way, and with the language for the Michigan Employment Retirement Services, with the MERS, in no way is the county commission endorsing the idea of switching to that other system. So that was the reason that we adjourned. We are moving the contract forward, but if there is any future action in the courts with regards to switching to MERS, what we did yesterday was to say in no way should it be construed by any future court that the county commission supported a movement to MERS, even if the language is in the contract. So that is what we did. We don't want, if this ever comes to a future court, we didn't want to stop the contract from moving forward. We didn't want to stop the $1,000 bonuses. But the language is problematic for us, and moving forward, no court in the future can say that by passing these collective bargaining agreements with the language about MERS in there is in any way an endorsement by the Wayne County Commission of that possible move. So I hope I explained that properly. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Anderson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to remind everyone that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I introduced a bill when I was in the legislature to create the Breast Cancer Awareness License Plate and had a co-sponsor over in the House that I recruited in order to get that bill passed through the Senate. And it is something that's available to people. If you see the license plates going around town with the pink ribbon on it, that's a Michigan plate. That's the bill that was that I sponsored. And I just wanted to remind everyone, it's all the funds for that license plates, all the receipts, even the renewals. That only all that money goes to the breast and cervical cancer, breast cancer and cervical cancer control program to the state of Michigan, and goes across the entire state of Michigan, or is accessible across the entire state of Michigan for testing and treatment. It's a great program, and with the support of the Snyder administration, back when the bill passed, we have provided a great deal of money, citizens of Michigan that buy the license plate. So just a little plug for everyone to look into buying that license plate. I have it on my car. A lot of people probably wonder why I have a pink ribbon license plate on my car. My wife does, my daughter does. We're trying to raise awareness about it. And my heart goes out to my colleague, Commissioner Hayes, for what he's dealing with right now. My mother's a survivor, as I mentioned, Al, the other day, and she's, it was about at least 15 years ago when she discovered she had cancer, breast cancer, had to have a mastectomy, a single mastectomy, and she's doing great. 87 years old, mows her lawn about 1.5 acres on a zero-turn lawnmower, if you can imagine that. Herself to use one. I don't even know how to use one myself. And but anyway, just wanted to bring that up. Everyone keep it in your mind, and encourage folks to support that program by getting that license plate, and the money will go to a good cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. That's good information to know. I appreciate that. Very good. Any other remarks by members?
Yes, Madam the Chair, this is Al.
Hello, Commissioner.
Yes, hello. I like just to thank all my colleagues, the staff, the friend, family, with all their support and messages through the text, email, telephone, in support of Rhonda. I find out I have a great blessing is there's so many friends who care, so many people who really I know a little bit from the district, They send their prayer and their support. So I want to say I can't thank you enough. I wish I could find something stronger than thank you to say to all of you. I love you all and thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And again, we will keep her and your entire family in our prayers during this time. So know that we're here for you. Any additional remarks by members?
Madam
Before
Chair.
we conclude, oh, there's one more. Commissioner Baidoon.
Yeah, just thank you, Commissioner Anderson, for bringing this discussion to light about Breast Awareness Month. I too have family members that are survivors of breast cancer. I'm going to propose that all of us wear pink to our next meeting on October 15 to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ray Basham,
Thank you, Commissioner.
Ray Basham, you can get a pink tie. If you don't have one, I'll buy you one.
I don't know if I own pink, but I'll search my closet.
Chair Bell, would
yes.
you add a little green? Would you add a little green to that pink?
You heard me say, you know, I don't have any pink, Commissioner Clark.
Time to go shopping.
I have to borrow stuff from Commissioner Clark Coleman. And what I'll also do actually is propose that we have a resolution acknowledging October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well that we'll vote on at our next meeting as well. So
Maybe we can have
thank
it
you all for that. That'll be great.
with all commissioners, sponsors, if they're willing to do that.
Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And for the next meeting, even a pink ribbon would be great. If you don't have something pink, pink shirts or jackets or whatever, or ties, even a pink ribbon would be great. Thank you.
Or get a pink background on your.
There you go.
Pink
Madam
that
Chair.
would be cool if we knew how to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm a little technologically not that inclined. Commissioner Marecki.
Yeah, I appreciate this too. I'm the 8th one in my family to have breast cancer, and I'm a survivor of 9 years. So it has touched our family huge. So it's nice you're all doing this.
Thank you,
Get a plate.
Commissioner. 9 years and counting. That's
Yep.
wonderful. Thank God.
Madam
Okay,
Chair,
well, yes.
we really need to be proactive in letting people know that prevention and early detection is the key to any cancer. I had cervical cancer 6 years ago, went in with cancer on election day, came out cancer-free because it was caught early. And so I tell everybody, early detection, please go for the screenings and have your annual checkup. It is so important. And that is what saved my life too. So I'm very thankful, Commissioner Anderson, for what you did. And I am going to get me one of those plates as well. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Anderson.
if I could ask, I think everyone might get a kick out of this. Back when I was still in the Senate, and the Governor Snyder had invited legislators onto the porch at the Mackinac, at his Mackinac residence. This was just very shortly after the bill had passed and had been signed into law, and the plate was scheduled to be approved or in production. Mrs. Snyder, so she was on the porch also, and I mentioned to her, I said, I guess you'll be getting the license plate now, because she was a survivor, as probably most people know. And she said, did that pass? And I said, your husband also signed it into law. And she immediately walked over to him and smacked him on the shoulder and said, you never told me you signed that law. And he says, honey, I sign a lot of laws. I sign a lot of bills. and she was, it was just funny, a little funny incident that happened. And she had been following that and supporting it from very early on. And he had also lent his support, but of course we had to get it to his desk. But it was just a comical thing, one of those little things that I'll never forget, that she went over and she told me then afterwards, she said, you know, I guess I'll have to get a car. And I was like, really? But anyway, that's all.
Well, good. I'm glad that you did that, and it's for such a great cause, and we're thankful to you for that. So, all right. Well, at this point, if I hear no other remarks by members, again, just want to thank everyone who got us to the finishing line with the budget on yesterday. Again, thank all the commissioners for indulging us through this week of meetings on Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, Thursday. I appreciate all of your hard work and dedication to the citizens of Wayne County, because we do great work. So thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
To adjourn.
Everyone wants to stay? Okay, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Goodbye.
Meeting adjourned.
Bye-bye.
Okay.